Wow, it doesn't want me to share today. Got it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? I'm Danny Lightning. I'm here with Max the Gamer, and we're gonna talk about some CSR2 stuff today. So, hope you're all having a really awesome day so far. It seems our program here is a little bit weird, but we got it worked out now. All right, cool. That's up and running there, Max. Everybody say hello to Max.
Hello, everyone. Good Friday afternoon.
All right. So, I guess you had some stuff you wanted to touch base on, right?
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about speed traps on these coming events, especially with all the cars that we're going to be expected to use. Let me see. For example, I think the next one is coming up. It's the Hyper World Trinity. How many of you guys have all three cars?
I probably do not. Then again, I don't even know what cars they are. I am behind the times. I know it's what, the FFXK, right? What else do we got on there?
Yeah, we got the Chiron Pure Sport, right? PUR.
I have that, but I haven't upgraded it.
Yeah, and then you got the TS1. So those are going to be three cars that you need for that. You know, I'll be honest with you guys. If you had none of them or you only have one of them, I wouldn't necessarily recommend you to waste your keys pulling for any of them. None of these cars are currently that viable as far as, you know, getting them to use in live or anything. The Zenvo probably is going to be the best one out of the three.
Definitely.
As far as viability.
But yeah, the FFXK and the Bugatti, they're okay cars, but you know what? I don't think, if I didn't have them, I really wouldn't spend my keys to try and get them. They're really nothing that special. The Zenvo is a pretty cool car, but I might try like one or two pulls to get that thing since I don't have one, but I wouldn't really spend too many keys trying to get it either.
Yeah, I mean,
I just know I don't have the parts to put in that thing.
You know, a lot of us who did the entire Bugatti event may have the Pure Sport and in fact have it built because there was a Evolution Cup where you can win the Purple Star version of that car. The other ones like the FXXK Evo wasn't it a PC car for? I know it was an event prize car at one point. Then it came around at least once or twice, but it was a while ago, where you can get it again as some kind of reward or some kind of PC car or something. But, you know, my memory is failing me on that car because I haven't really looked at it for so long.
Clavius says the next season's Prestige Cup car will be the HPE 750, so that's definitely something you guys are going to want to get your hands on. That's a really cool car, in my opinion. I love that thing.
It's a good car. The other one that's really coming up that's going to be real decent is that 2015 Ford GT. That's a Tier 4. Remember, that was a gold key car for an event. Now they're bringing it in as a PC car. That's going to be an awesome car. If anything, that's the one you definitely don't want to miss out on. However, I suspect people will end up killing that car pretty quick once they start using it, but mine's still doing pretty good in live because I never, you know, ran it all out. So, love that little car. It's actually a very good car. And yes, the HPE and that GT both can be Tempest 3 Tier 4.
Yeah, I had some people asking if the The Rocket Bunny Corvette Stingray is going to do it, but unfortunately, that thing is not going to be able to hit those 0 to 60 times.
No, it doesn't sprint that well.
Yeah, it's not a good sprinter at all, actually.
Yeah, not at all. In fact, I have no real love for that car. I mean, you and I were discussing it earlier. It looks cool and all, but hey, not my thing. Let's see.
Yeah, I like it. I just know it's a good dyno beater. It's going to be good for everything, but just like all the other big dyno beaters, you got to reset them constantly when you're winning live races by going too fast, which is a little bit of a pain.
Right. And they may not last very long in anybody's hands because of that. Most players run them too hard and they'll soon be dead. Yeah, that 2005 GT is going to be a beast. The problem, of course, is most people will kill that car as well, Corey. I see Corey's Strand's comment about that. That car works a little bit, not a little bit, but a lot like the RS6 Avant. Drive it just right and, it'll destroy the lobby, but in the end, a lot of people just kill it, so.
Yeah, that's the one problem with a lot of cars is once somebody gets a really good PC car, they do flood the lobbies. But
they do. Yeah.
If you've got a good car set up correctly, it won't really be a problem.
You know what I just realized? I don't have that one on my second account. My gold key pulls didn't play out on that car. So I'm looking forward to it. I want that car for my one of the accounts I play. My baby account that I got lucky on, I've already sort of retired. So I'm trying to kind of get this account back up to par with some of these cars.
Yeah, I don't have one of those at all, so.
Yeah, they were a gold key. It was a gold key car, I remember. And on my account with enough gold keys, it wasn't an issue, but the accounts that have limited gold keys, I just couldn't get it. So I'm actually thinking it's doing great that they're going to bring this car. If you guys want to see what it can do, I can certainly showcase it, but it's a pretty beastly little car.
We got Mr. Freesby or something. He says, should I restart CSR2? Depends on what you mean by that, buddy. I'm not really sure what you have going on there. If you're talking about you lost your account and you want to start playing again, I mean, it's a cool game. I mean, I guess I would, but...
It's Lane Pauly. I think Lane lost the account before.
Oh, it's Lane. Okay.
Yeah. And, if you lost your account restarting, you can always try not to make the same mistakes. It's not easy for people to restart, let's be honest, because the first month and a half is miserable, right? Because you're just going through the motions to get through that beginning stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I see DB147 and the Helena Hitmans here. I'm sure somebody from Team X Racing should be here as well. I wasn't looking at all the names. I see Bosco Soundwave is here. Bosco likes to find me and then kick my butt in live. It's funny. We have fun though. He finds me really fast. Every time I bring a car into the lobby, he's like, I'll find you.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got a car for every lobby I'm in. So
he's out to get you, Max.
Yeah. He's got a lot of similar setups to mine, so we have fun. What do we got? So again, restarting is kind of a pain. I've restarted probably 4 accounts over time just to kind of stay with the new stuff. And I think right now, newer players starting off, much easier than 4 years, 3 years, or even 2 years ago. You're going to have a lot easier time. So yeah, go ahead and restart. Build it right. Try not to get... And remember, save the silver keys until you get enough to pull PC car in one shot. If you start now, you may have enough for that GT when the time comes, actually.
Restarting the game and knowing what to do, and not starting off with any mistakes. I mean, that's gonna be a big plus overall, I think.
Yeah, it'll be nice to be able to do that. You know, that's one of the things I think that drives people to want to restart, because you realize all the mistakes you made, and you're like, man, if I do this again, I can get all these cars and not mess up. But here's the other factor: you still got to be lucky, right? That's the real issue. I can pull 750 silver keys and get nothing but junk.
So Comet got himself a C8, buddy. The C8's pretty awesome.
The C8 was given out for free at one point. Remember, everybody got one.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Though. If you don't already have one, it's amazing.
Mine's maxed out and starting to be deleted because I like the car. But it's an awesome car. Let me see if I can. I am botching the launch here with this car. Hold on. Before I ask to be shown, I'm gonna try not to embarrass myself first. Yeah, the C8's a good car. The thing with the C8 is, of course, it beats dyno. But one of the problems, it was given at the last 7-day giveaway. That's correct. Eclav is saying. So yes, it's a good car. It's not like a lobby killer, but it is a pretty viable car.
I think the C8's probably better than the Rocket Bunny one, though.
I think so. In my opinion, it is. But then again, the C8 doesn't really become super good until it's almost close to Max 2, so it's kind of a wash when it comes to those two cars. They both beat dyno, so it's not like one will not beat dyno and the other one beats it by a lot. They both beat it by about the same, actually. Try to remember how much
for the American series, buddy. If you're stuck on something, you got to make sure your car is tuned properly. You got to make sure you're shifting it correctly, and then it just comes down to whether you have enough parts or not. I mean, those are kind of the things on it when you get stuck. So, I hit nitrous in the wrong gear. I mean, I don't think you probably can't change cars once you've locked it in, I'm guessing. But,
well, then they say if you lock in a certain car, it's not going to be available, blah, 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 blah. But the AMG Black Series was available for both events, right? The Ring and the Furai event. So
yeah, I think they misworded that. I think there was only one specific event that was locking the cars out once you locked them in.
Yeah,
so I think that was
what they mean is that first lock-in with the sport, they call the sports cars. If you lock in a particular sports car for the one part of the American event, you cannot lock in the same one for the first lock-in again. So let me think. For Furai, I locked in the Aston Martin, right? So there's a chance that my Aston Martin's locked out of the entire series now. So that's the only thing I can think of. How do you get American Series credits? Very slowly. No, I mean, you can get them from all different parts, right? Milestone has them. The Weekly Cup has them. Your events have them. And some of the other stuff has it. So you have to use it. Oh, no, Comet, you're right. On my main account, I used... on one of my accounts, I used the Aston Martin. On the other account, I used the NSX. But in both cases, that might be the cars that'll get locked out.
Yeah, you just got to keep racing those American Series events, and if you do well, you'll keep earning more tokens.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see. Take a look at this Ford GT again. It's been a while since I've messed with it. It's not that the car's bad. You know, sometimes I don't use some cars, not because they're terrible cars. It's just that there's so many other great cars, you kind of start to run out of options. Or you have too many options, I should say. See, all right.
What's up, Nolix? Yeah, lots of people do have some pretty crazy names in the live racing lobbies. One of my favorites was Wife Swap. I don't know why, I just thought that was hilarious.
Wife Swap.
Good cars for live racers in the beginning. Okay, you've been playing 1 month, Daniel. I don't really know what you have, but what I used to live race with all the time when I was new was my Volkswagen GTI from Tier 1. Alright, that was a great little live racer car for starters. And I think the next good live racing car I got was the Porsche Boxster. I live raced with that a lot. My first good Tier 4 one, which isn't one of the best, but it's good for a starter, was the Nissan GTR that you can buy in the dealership. That's a decent live racer for someone who's new.
Yeah, that used to be better. It's a little bit harder to use now because you know, there's just so many better cars in the same level of performance that the GTR is struggling a lot more.
Yeah, I haven't actually taken that into live for a while, but it used to win almost every race back when I used it.
Yeah, it was good. It was definitely good. All right, so let's when we get a chance, let's take a look at this Ford GT 2005.
All right, so you want me to move to your screen?
Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen first. Hold on. No, I'm not. I'm sharing the screen that. Hold on. Let me change.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Now I'm ready.
All right. All right, we're moving on over to Max. There we are.
All right, guys. So this is the coming 2005 Ford GT. That's going to be a PC Cup car. If this is the correct one, I'm thinking this is. Any of you guys know for sure, you can always verify. What I love about this car is that it's a Ford, so Fusions are very easy to get. Okay, and not to mention, this is a classic. I mean, one of the few Ford GTs out there that in real life that is an absolute collectible nowadays. All right, so beauty of this car, dynos, and I'm running the UR tune, even though I'm using the world record tune without full upgrades. I have full upgrades. I'm just showing you guys this real quick, and you'll see what it can do. So I'm in two crews. I am in the Helena Hitman, and I'm in T-Max Racing. Speaking of T-Max Racing, we're looking for some players in that crew. So if you guys have Facebook Messenger, you can do at least 700K a season. We're always, we have a few spots. I think 1 or 2 spots open. And I was going to do a recruitment video one of these days. Okay. So this one, the main thing is instant second, quick third, nitrous, I think 4th or 5th would work. But watch what it runs. All right. This is the reason why you don't mess with this car in live lobby unless you're really sure of your car, because that is running it on a 11.4 dyno. Okay. Now, the problem with this is most guys who had this car when it was available ran it exactly the way I just ran it, and they killed it. So we saw these cars in live lobby for about a week, and then they were all gone. And that's why, because people just can't slow down. Okay, so we have a spot comment. You reach out to me later after the stream. We definitely have a spot and we're looking. Denny?
Oh yeah. What's up?
Do you have this car or you don't have this car yet?
No, I don't have that thing. I don't think.
You got to get this car. This is one of the must-haves in Tier 4. I mean, I don't get too excited about too many cars in the game. But this is one of those cars, like the Valhalla in Tier 5. This is one of those gotta-haves. Okay, so
let me go take a look. But
when this car comes as PC car, my second account, I don't care if I gotta burn 1,500 silver keys. I'm getting this thing. So, this is one of those cars I really, really love, and it's just a cool-looking car too. This is actually, in many ways, one of the coolest modern Ford GT interpretations. So I really like it. But yeah, definitely a good car to get, guys. And if you actually did the event back in the day, let me see if you get this one. The Heritage Edition. Look at that. slightly better because it has the purple star. And I really dig this car too. So
I wonder if that will be
that's
allowed into the PC Cup.
they've been allowing it more. I mean, before it was always the purple star cars don't get any love, but recently I've seen, if you have a purple star car that is the same, they do allow it. This door always worries me. Can you imagine you slam the door and your head is sticking out? Yeah, it's a little bit. I'm just a little bit too tall for this, and
Yeah, that would not be great. That would not be great at all. But
you get an instant scalping from your own car, like so. But yeah, pretty definitely cool car. One of my if I had the money, this will be definitely one of the cars I would own. Okay?
Yeah, I don't have those things, guys. I don't have those things on my account.
Hell, if I can find a good 1/18 scale diecast replica of this car, I'm gonna buy that. So
I bet you give yourself a little RC car like that, but run that thing
RC
around.
cars lack the kind of details that the diecasts come with.
Actually, that I think Tamiya makes RC cars that are super detailed. Of course, those are the kind you don't want to go out and crash, though. Those aren't the kind. I don't know. It's kind of weird because they're real detailed, and I guess they're really fragile and they break easy. I'm kind of guessing most of the people who buy those just kind of have them for show and not really for use.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, I'd rather just get the auto art, the auto art models, because you're just gonna sit them on a display case anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, this is a cool car. Now, the other one that's coming up actually next season is the HP 750. That's one of your favorite cars. So why don't we have you talk about that car?
About the HPE 750, all right.
Yeah, that's a tier 4 as well.
That was my very first good dyno beating car, guys. And I used to live race with that thing daily. It is one that you will have to reset occasionally because it will bust the dyno. I don't know, I find that setting that car to a 12.0, for some reason it just dominates the 12.0 lobbies. So no matter what I do with it, I always tune it back to a 12.0 when I'm done. This guy, it just really... We'll go ahead and take a good look at it. I kind of got a silver one or whatever, which I was a little disappointed in. I was really hoping for like orange or yellow, or there's some really cool colors on this, but I'll tell you what.
I think I got the livery on that one. Hold on. Well, I mean, talk about the car. I'm gonna go look up mine.
But this is just one really good all-around car that's great for almost everything. And I mean, Ford parts are pretty easy to get. You guys can strip several Fords to get parts, which are pretty nice. Getting the Stage 6 parts, you don't really need all that many Stage 6 to make this thing good, which is cool. You get a couple Stage 6 on here, get it into the 12.0 lobbies, and you'll be doing really good. Currently, let's see what I have on mine as far as Stage 6 parts go. So I'm missing the engine, transmission, I'm missing the tires. So I'm missing 3 Stage 6 parts. And I think I could actually get away with missing one more and still be in the 12.0 lobby. What I remember doing is I added another one and I tried to take it out of the 12.0 lobbies and it just didn't seem to drive that good. And instead of just uninstalling the part, I just kind of tuned it back. I just tuned the transmission down until it hit 12.0 again and it worked really well. So I don't know, it's just a really cool little car. I love live racing with it.
Yep. Now this car can be Tempest 3 Tier 4, but it needs to be fully maxed. You may be able to get away with missing like Stage 6 intake or something, but I actually have a video on this car for Tempest, but it's an old video, so you have to search for it. Very good car overall. So now, if you want to jump back to my screen, I want to show you the livery I pulled on this one.
Yeah, that's one of the cool ones I was hoping to get, but did not get.
Yeah, this one's which one is this? This is the Hennessy one, Shadow Black.
Now, if you guys have a bunch of keys saved up, okay, this is one Tier 4 car. I would say it's definitely worth spending some keys on to get parts for it. Because, like if you haven't beat Tempest yet and you don't have a good Tempest beater, Of course, it's going to take you a good 15, 20, 30,000 bronze keys to max something like this out, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah.
comment, do not strip the Rocket Bunny for a regular Corvette. Never strip
No.
one of only cars. Never. Okay, it's going to get used at some point, and then you're going to be stuck without it, and you're going to not have enough keys as well. Hey, Matrix, welcome to the stream.
Please never strip anything that you don't have at least 2 of, guys. You will, at some point, you will regret it.
Sometimes I have 2 of them, but I don't want to build both, and I had to build the ugly one, like this gray one over here, so I kept the yellow one too. You know, it's just to have it. I mean, you can always strip them, but it's better not to. Whoops, that wasn't the car I was aiming for.
Yeah, no looks, that's
here.
going to be a upcoming PC car in a couple of seasons.
I remember when this car, this GT350R, was still considered a good car and rare. You know, and then Natural Motion ruined it for us. But the point is that these older cars are not always going to be as viable in live lobby as some of the newer stuff. So keep that in mind. But they're not terrible either. And
I still take that in live races sometimes.
Yeah, this is a little beast here if you actually bother to build it. I've started the slow build process, but I just, you know, I already built enough NSXs. I don't want to just throw parts at another one. But definitely a great car.
So it looks like Harry says, anyone else having the showdown trophies not adding up? Currently, I'm not having that problem, but if you're having a glitch where your trophies you're not gaining trophies when you should be, make sure you open an in-game ticket and report a bug, okay? You gotta let them know what you're having problems with, tell them which phone you're using and all that good stuff as well.
Yep.
But I haven't really heard of that for a long time.
I've had a few times heard of that where the car that was being used wasn't, quote, technically the proper car. Even though the showdown lets you use it, if it's not really in the system, that could trigger that as an issue. So one of the first things you should try is switch cars, run a few showdowns, see if that's one of the causes. If it's a different car that is allowing it to build, then maybe it's that car. I'm not saying that is the issue. I'm just saying test that before you start looking into other options.
Clavia, buddy. All right, we'll catch you a little later, and you won't even feel it, man. You won't even feel it. You might have later tonight. You might have a sore shoulder, but that's about the worst it should be.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's going to go get the vaccine, right?
Yeah, he's going to get his coronavirus vaccine.
All right, good luck. Don't grow a third arm.
Yeah. Will there be any way to get the Rocket Bunny vet? Well, unfortunately, if you didn't just get it, it might be a while before there's a way to get it again, because it was just it was a milestone prize car for last season. So if your crew got over the 20 million respect points, your whole crew got the car, but eventually it'll probably become a Prestige Cup car at some point. A lot of the times those season prize cars do, but I mean that could be several months or next year, we just don't know. But there should be some way to get it again in the future. It just depends on when they decide to offer it.
Yeah, I mean, patience will pay off in the long run for these kind of things. So we'll probably end up getting it as some kind of PC car down the line.
Well, Clavia said it's going to be in the gold crates after the season is over. That doesn't sound right, but...
it will become, so usually after the seasons, I think it's like one season after you get it as a season car, you can start pulling it from crates. It becomes available. It usually says it 14 days from the season.
Oh, for the showdown car or whatever, right?
Yeah, for the milestone cars that are in the game. So once it's done being the milestone car, you can make it available. I'm actually looking for the Shuram Pure Sport.
I've never actually noticed that before. Man, that's something I didn't know about the game. All right, I learned something today.
never paid attention to it, right?
Yeah. I don't really look too much at the gold keys because I don't spend them often, but
Yeah,
I can't
I'll be
believe I
honest with
didn't know
you.
that.
I have never, I mean, I shouldn't say never. I have rarely ever pulled a milestone car from any keys, okay, regardless. All right, later, Clavia. I just don't see it happening very often.
Yeah,
So-
that's true. Or there's always the chance to pull it out of a gold or a silver crate randomly, but that's pretty unlikely unless you're super lucky.
Right, you have to be really lucky because a lot of these are like 5-star, 4 stars. I mean, mostly 5 stars, so you're just not going to get them that easily.
Yeah.
All right, so we were talking about this earlier too, about the Shuram Pure Sport being part of that new Hyper whatever event. So the Hyper Trinity, right? Something like that, Hypercar Trinity event. Now, one of the things you got to watch for with these cars, particularly these 3, is 2 of them are pretty bad at speed traps. So I have this car at stage 5 only. I'll show you. It's 249 mile per hour quarter mile. If, for example, if Natural Motion decides during that event to give us a 250 something, like a 258 mile per hour speed trap, your stage 5 car is just not going to make it. And unlike some cars, you know, you had a video recently, Danny, about doing speed traps, right?
Yes.
And one of the things about doing speed traps, one of the common consensus is do this with the tire. Okay, with this car, it doesn't really help that much. It's kind of weird like that, where it still prefers to have grip. So nothing's universal. There's always going to be something that's a little different depending on the car you're dealing with. Again, I'm pushing to the last gear here, and I'm using short duration nitrous. But even then, it's a bit of a struggle to get a good speed trap out of this. So this is one of those cars that, you know, I think I'm going to start getting questions when the event comes. How do I get through this speed trap? All right, let's take a look at how this one runs. Okay, so again, you want to have the nitrous kind of try to end right at the end of the track. I wasted a little hair of nitrous there, but 251.7, 252 is the best I've done without stage 6s for that quarter mile speed trap. And you're only 2 mile per hour better than what the dyno says. Usually with the good cars, you can get like 10 miles per hour over what the dyno says. So, you know, the Bugatti, well, this particular Bugatti is kind of one of those difficult cars to mess with in that sense. The FXXK Evo is a little bit similar, same problem. Not the best speed trap car in the world. So, you know, even if you get it, you're gonna have to think about that.
Yeah, I made that video the other day. Kind of went into detail on what to do with your transmission slider when you're trying to beat speed traps, and then you just kind of, after you get that right, you can just kind of play with your tires and watch the dyno time. And
right. I mean, the GT3, like the GT3 is really good at speed traps, right? It goes well over its dyno, but some of these other cars just won't do it, or not easily, I should say.
yeah, that FFXK is kind of a weird one.
Yeah, notice the way I do a lot of speed trap setups is I have the final, so cars that accelerate through their gears quickly, you put the final gear where you want the speed trap to end. Cars that does a lot of acceleration in like 3rd gear or 4th gear only, but then slows down into higher gears, you want to push the final drive this way and try to maximize those gears for the speed traps. So it's very car dependent. It's not, you know, it's not just, there's not a universal, if I do this, then that will work with any of these speed traps. But your general plan that you gave out in that video is very good. So it
Can
gives
you
people
explain? Can you explain what you're showing with the final gear? Because I know there's a lot of people who get confused by that method right there. A lot of people don't understand that little diagram there. That's why I kind of show it the way I did, because I know this confuses people.
Sure. So understand each of these slashes is one gear. Okay, so this car has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gears. When you're looking at that little diagram, what happens is when we're talking about moving the bar, what you're really doing is you're making each gear shorter in duration or longer in duration. So what happens with this is, let's say if you do this, this car will never hit 350 miles per hour. It's just not upgraded enough. It'll hit 276 according to the half mile times. 276 is right about here, so you got a whole wasted gear and a half here. If you put that gear here though, it'll go 286 now because it'll accelerate quicker through certain gears and push you into that. For quarter-mile speed traps, we don't care about this as much as that. So you're looking at this number less this number because you don't have the extra quarter mile to do that. So even more so, you're going to push it down where you're really looking for the maximum number here to start. Okay. Even then, you can still, in some cases, give yourself a little extra margin. So it says 244 here, but I actually have my thing here at 250 some, so I think it'll beat it by a little bit. Okay, so 245, but it says 257 in theory in the half mile. That's what that bar is, Danny. All it is like you're making your gears longer or shorter. So
yeah.
Now, when you run these for quarter mile, though, almost in every instance, and this is true of 90% of the cars, use nitrous so that it ends right at the end of the track. That's usually the best way. Not always, but usually. So what we do is we do something like this. You launch, and then you kind of just go through the gears real fast, and then you hit nitrous.
Yeah, you definitely want to play. You definitely want to play with which gear you hit the nitrous in on the speed traps, because yeah, sometimes it'll be very different than what you normally do to get the best speed. Like Odin there said, what helped him the most on the speed trap video was how I said sometimes you have to hit nitrous in 4th or 5th or 6th. It just depends on what car you're running. So
yeah, it really depends on the car.
Yeah, hitting it in a later gear will sometimes even boost the top speed up past what the dyno time says on certain cars, but not all cars. So right. Yeah, that nitrous, you got to figure out which gear is going to work best for you and what you have installed on your car. So
yep. And it really is dependent on the car. So remember with the Pure Sport, you're running really high grip. Remember with real high grip, your car's going to slow down as you get into the higher gear. So even more carefully timed nitrous in that situation makes all the difference, because if you do it too early, you lose speed. You do it too late, you're wasting nitrous. So nitrous used in speed traps is critical, and you can sometimes really push some strange numbers out of the car if you time that nitrous just right. In almost every case, you're using short duration, maximum power. Okay, you're pushing it as hard as you can all the way to the right. In almost all cases.
Yeah, NSXR has a really hard time with the 0 to 60 races, 0 to 100, or wait a second.
Yep. Oh, Maj is here from Team X Racing. Hello.
Yeah, it doesn't have great acceleration. That's what I'm getting at. Sorry.
Right, it spins the tires too much. Now for new guys, and I keep saying this many times answering YouTube questions, if you're relatively new, there's nothing wrong with saving up a few hundred gold and switching out for that sprint because you don't have car options.
Yeah, true.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get stuck for half a year because you don't have the right car, because you can save up gold quicker than that. So, swapping out the car is not a bad thing.
I switched a couple. For example, my little Porsche Boxster wasn't quite fast enough to do. I think it was the sprint race. I mean the speed trap. I think it wasn't quite ready, so I switched out for one that was, and then I switched it back to finish it off. So sometimes you just got to do that.
You got to do that, and the best news here is this, guys. For the sprint, for that really crazy sprint, the best tier 4 cars for that crazy sprint are not necessarily the really badass ones in live racing. It's the ones that we kind of turn our noses at, okay? I'll show you what I'm talking about if I can get to them. Oh, here we go. Right, so some of these cars that you really don't think are that great necessarily for Tempest 3 are the best sprinters. This guy here sprints really good. Okay, this guy right here sprints really good. Yeah, nobody likes the Vanquish except I do. It looks great, but that thing is a sprinting beast. You will get you right through, and you can max this car pretty easily if you just, you know, put together some parts. So look at the 0 to 60, 1.376, right? That's the target number for that particular event. So very easy to do. The Nissan GTR.
Comet's right, the DBX is good too.
Those SUVs we otherwise hate, they all sprint fast. That's the one good thing about them. They suck at everything else, but they sprint pretty good.
Yeah,
okay.
Generally the GTRs love the sprint races, guys. Not all the GTRs, but like the GTR you buy from the dealership, that's a sprinting machine for the most part.
And even some of these cars that you know are way outdated and really kind of sucky nowadays, like the Z28, it's a sprinter. The Dodge Viper, not this guy though, this guy stinks. But the regular GTS is a sprinter if you have it built. Now, it would hurt my heart to have to build one nowadays, but you know, if you're brand new and that's what you got.
Most people have probably never even seen that snake skin unless they've been playing for a long time.
Yeah,
a lot of guys in the chat probably just said, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I elited the Z28. What about it? Because back when I was eliting that car, this thing was pretty badass. It was a dyno buster, and I was using it to beat people up in live. So it's not my favorite color though, that's for sure. But yeah,
is the Lancer STI good for sprints? You know, they're not too bad.
Yeah, the Lancer and STI, all these elite tuner cars, guys, you really got to put some elite levels in before they're really good.
That's true.
Okay, I mean they're decent, but with the elite levels is when they shine.
Yeah, if you elite both of those out plus max them out, they're gonna get through Tempest no problem. So
yeah,
they're pretty good at everything if you get enough parts into them.
Yeah, I mean a lot of these guys are pretty good at sprints. Like this guy, the GT350R that everybody has to get for that stupid Ford Performance Cup. Great sprinter. Okay, this thing will destroy the sprint, no problem. So if you already built it for Ford Performance anyway, and you have the gold saved up, and you got to play that gold cup every season, you can use this to do 1.1 0 to 60s all day long. So, you know, switch it out if you have to. Okay.
Ace, yeah, they get that car out for free a long time ago. And it's not super good. Not super good.
Which one did I miss?
Oh, the snake skin.
Oh, the snake skin. That is like
snake
the worst
skin Viper.
That is the worst Viper in the game, I think. It looks so cool when I got it.
Pull it up so we can see it. It does look awesome. I love the way it looks, awesome. But it's like a giant turd, really.
It hurt my feelings after I installed parts in it. It was so bad. I was like, what did I just do? Yeah, but yeah, it looks good. It's a very cool looking car. And you know, this is a classic, the purple stars that fool you, right? It's a purple star, it must not suck. And then I built it and it's like, oh my god, it stinks. So there you go. Not every purple star's, you know, good.
Should I spend 1,300 gold on the Veris M4 GTS? Well, it's an okay car. I mean, do you really need it?
My advice is no.
Do you really need it for something? If you don't absolutely feel like I have to have this, not really. Not really.
Someone told me once you fully elite it, it's actually competitive. But as it stands, 943 Evo fully maxed, it's kind of lame, okay? Compared to, say, your other guys out here at 1,500 plus, 1,600, right? So, I mean, it's just not that good, unfortunately. So
Wes,
1,300 for these guys.
Wes said he spent 500 silver keys and didn't get it. That's a bummer, buddy. I imagine you're talking about the Prestige Cup car. This one seems a little harder to get than normal this season, so.
Yeah, it's been rough.
It's not a good drop rate on it.
The GT430 is very good. 1400 plus Evo, dyno beating. I never race a Evora without thinking that I may lose. Okay, because it's a good car. Again, you know, the Project S has pretty high Evo too. It's just harder to drive, and it doesn't beat dyno. So again, it's kind of a rough car to use in that sense. So there are a lot of good cars, and then there's some really sucky ones like this guy right here.
What's that?
Okay, the Ghibli
Oh,
SQ4.
yeah, that thing.
Yeah,
It's a little hard to read that.
Yeah, and this wonderful car right here, which is great in real life, but damn, they screwed it up in this game bad.
It looks cool.
Man, I would totally rock this in real life. He'll probably try to kill me just like it does with the Top Gear episode when Jeremy Clarkson drove it.
You know, if they make like a Rocket Bunny or a Liberty Walk car or something, you would have expected all those to be really awesome, but unfortunately some of those even suck. Most of them are good, but they got a couple crappers.
Oh, they got quite a few actually, but the Crow's in the house, guys.
What's up, Crow? Good to see you, buddy. Crow runs the CSR2 Reddit page, guys.
All right, so Eclavia is saying the XE SV Project 8 is a beast. It is actually one of the cars that can beat Tempest 3 Tier 4 pretty easily.
That's a nice car, kinda.
It's a nice car. It's just not very good in live, but
yeah,
it can do. Let's see, I forgot what the gearing setup is for 0 to 60, but yeah, here you go. Okay, so it's really, I mean, if you can shift that quick, so yeah, 0.951, it'll definitely beat whatever sprint challenge you have. But of course that's maxed out. And also look at the points here is not exactly low either. So fully maxed. But the thing here is that it's not that quick. So,
Carlos, tuning cars really depends on what parts you have installed. So if me and Max were to tune a car a specific way, that tune may not work for you unless you had the same exact parts. So it's kind of hard to just like get on here and tune cars and be like, hey, do this. I mean, there's a few cars where you can do that, but the majority of the cars can change very drastically just by changing a couple parts. So that's not easy to share tunes like that, bud. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about like crazy 0 to 60s, I think one of the top ones for that is this car, or the GTX had a pretty crazy 0 to 60. There's your 0.307. I think the highest somebody was able to pull off of this was like a 0.1 something or 0.2 something on that car for 0 to 60. Oh, there it is. Right? 0.294, baby. That's like an instant 0 to 60. Bam, done.
Anthony says, does anybody chat with Milla?
I talk to him periodically. I'm in a chat with him. He's not always available. He's busy working, but once in a while he'll pop in.
Yeah, I don't really check the chat room too much, but yeah, we're in a chat room with him. Okay, Zedolziz or something. I don't know how to pronounce that, buddy. I'm sorry. He says, what's your favorite car? Man, I've got so many cars that I love in this game. It's hard to pick, but I'm really enjoying the Toyota Supra, the Elite Tuners one. I'm really enjoying the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. There's a crap load of Tier 4 cars that I just absolutely love, but it's very hard for me to pick an absolute favorite. There's so many good ones.
Let me see. Well, the F1 is definitely a great car. Now, I know you don't like it because of the shift pattern, but
I don't like to drive it. It's no fun for me, but it's a good car.
No fun to drive.
It's a good car, but it sucks to drive.
Well, I mean, It depends on how you tune it too. No,
Wes says he wants the Charger. The Chargers are cool, actually.
I think the Charger is still faster to 0 to 60. I mean 0 to 100. Maybe the F1 might be quicker, but.
Lewis wants to know, will the American events end with the Hyperworld event? I would have to go look in the hub.
Hyperworld is just like a side event, I think. It's not even like part of the full American series.
Let me go look at that real quick. I know there's a little event hub somewhere for this that...
I do not have the regular Saiyan or CNFKP 37. I only have the Roadster, which was a Evolution Cup prize, I think.
Well,
so
I mean,
we
we currently have the Sound of the Wind, which is the 4th event, which is currently live, and then the 5th event is going to be the Hyperworld.
What do we win from that one? I mean, I don't think you win a car.
It doesn't actually say right now. I don't think we're gonna know until it comes live. So I don't really know what's on it. That will be the last event, but I don't know the details of that event.
All right. Well, I mean, I got the cars. I have all 3 of them, and I think the Zinvo is the one that is the final one in that list, right? It's this one.
Yeah,
TS1
that's a
GT.
really cool car, though.
Yeah, I mean, the Purple Star version is really cool because it does that little thing with the wing.
Now, Crow said there's going to be a bunch of more events coming up for it.
That's the best part of this car, just playing with that wing. You just click on it. It's like, I just want to click on the wing, man. I just want to see it do this and that way and this way.
I might actually spend a few keys to get that car just because I don't have it. And it's a really cool car. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so this is the one that's a Gold Star version with a milestone car. So that's, this is the one I actually built. I won the other car using this car, but again, once you run out of parts, what's the point of building the other one? So,
Wes,
right.
You're welcome.
All right, what do we got? Let's see. Oh, so you don't win anything from the Hyper Trinity. Maybe some tickets. We all need them tickets. So there's another Trinity Cup with the Copo HP 1200 and Cobra Jet. Ooh, yeah.
See, I got all those.
Yeah, you like that Copo and the Cobra Jet, don't you?
Yeah. The Cobra Jet's a little weird to launch, but both cool cars. The Copo is really easy to drive and very fast. It's just a nice overall car. Actually, I don't know if I have the HP 1200 or not, though.
Yeah. Oh, Bosco's got the nicer wheels. Oh, gee. So what, you knocking my car here? The wheels are not nice?
Your wheels suck.
Those are classic 5-spoke, man. Classic.
Oh, your wheels suck.
Your wheels stink. You mean these wheels, right? Like this style? This is a nice style wheels. I like this. Usually like this style wheels.
I'm not a big fan of black wheels, though. Like, there are some cars I can put black wheels on, but in real life, I don't think I would ever run black wheels on a car. They just remind me of the old steel wheels that when you popped your hubcaps off. I don't know. That's what I see with black ones.
Hassan, I do not have a good tuning for Ford GT 2021, although it seems to have pretty decent Evo with just a little bit of upgrades, but I haven't even built it because I just don't see it being easy to tune to win. For those in the know, this is probably the one hypercar that you can build in your backyard because it's a kit car. So, I mean, it looks like a kit car. You can see the kit car quality going on over here. Look at that interior. Pure luxury quality right there. But you're not going to get a much faster car for the money, that's for sure. Yeah, it delivers in a huge crate is right. if you're a shade tree mechanic, you can probably build it. So this is the second PC car that's going to come after the HP 750. Most of us have it already as a milestone, so now I get a chance to actually build it. So
Yeah, that's actually a really good car too.
I heard this is a dyno beating car too, right?
Oh,
with
for
high
sure.
Evo, is that the case?
Yep.
All right,
sure
I'll get
is.
around to building it when it's forced on me, so we'll play with it more at that point.
I think I have a video. I think I did a review and tune shift pattern video for that a while back. Should be on my playlist for tuning, guys. Or not for tuning, but for how to drive your different cars.
What does
the Zenvo run?
I don't know. It's
It's like a 6.9 or 7.0 car, I think.
at 7 something, right? But it's not. I mean, it's not that quick. Not the Gold Star.
Look
Mine, it's right now a 10.052 car on the dyno. It'll run 9.9s, I think. With I mean, don't use my tune because I didn't really tune it. I just kind of threw it together. Oh wait, it can be faster. Hold on. Yeah, I was tuning it for speed traps, so I had it completely tuned for this.
7.2. Okay, it's a 7.2 car, guys. If you max it out, and I think you can actually make maybe down to a 7.1. That's probably for the Purple Star one, though. I think.
I mean, it's pretty quick at stage 5, 9.65, so not a bad car. But 7.3, here's my problem with anything that doesn't run 6.7 or 7.7 or slower, is that you're basically in a whole lobby of other cars that can beat you. Okay, 7.3 is kind of a miserable place to be honest.
Honestly, yeah, if you got a car that fast, you're better off removing some stage parts and getting it into a much slower lobby, because that Hypermax is brutal unless you're running a 6.9 or a 7.0 car, or unless you're swapping in there. But in the Hypermax, if you're trying to win, it's very hard unless you have the fastest car in there. But crazy thing is the 6.8, 6.9, all the way up to like 7.5, I think it is, all gets lumped into one lobby for some reason.
7.7 actually, Danny. Everything under 7.7. Okay. Yeah, but some 7.5 cars can squeeze into the 7.7 lobby, like the F1 and like the Hennessy Venom F5 concept. But the rest of us are basically all screwed once we dyno anything less than 7.7. The worst is when you dyno 7.6.
The 8-second lobbies are a nice place to be.
Yep, 8-second lobby, 9.3 lobby is really good. I mean, those are some cool lobbies to be in, and quite competitive, but mostly swapping too. What was I gonna look up? Somebody mentioned a car, so I was scrolling. Now I lost my train of thought. Hold on, let me go back.
Yeah, the monos are awesome. The back monos, those are amazing little cars.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite live racers, to be honest. So the Kia Stinger, please, no, it's not worth building. No, not unless it's needed for something. It's just one of those, why did they even put it in the game situations?
Yeah, I think the Bullite runs a 6.7 something if you max it out. Like 6.793 or
6.79
like
something, yeah. Good luck hitting it, but...
Yeah, you gotta be a wizard to get that.
Yeah, I mean, I the best I've ever gotten out of the Bullite, I think it's like a 6.80 something. And I was I was all proud of myself for that one.
Here's a good question. What cars are good for low PP and high Evo?
Oh, well, we don't want to give away all of our secrets, right? No, I'm kidding. Hold on, let me kind of scroll through some of them. Since we're already on this anyway.
Quite a few really good ones.
Yep. There. Now, so I kind of try to explain this in one of my videos. Low performance point, high Evo, it's very relative to what the car runs. Okay. What do I mean by that? So if you have a car that has a particular performance point and a particular Evo, that looks great. Okay. So that's pretty high. That's not that bad. but then the car runs like a 10.0, that's still going to be crap in live because it's too slow for the numbers. So the evo points and the performance points still has to fall where the car is really fast. Let's take a look at a classic example everybody should know of, and that is the white Cento right here, okay?
Yeah, that's a cool car.
Okay, beast. Why? Because 669 performance point, 21. You can actually do 2300 evo. I'm cheating a little bit here, but this car dynos like a 9.5 but runs 9.3s, or you can dyno 9.3 and run 9.3s. At 669 performance point, you go ahead and look through your tier 5 cars, and you tell me how many other ones can do 9.3 at 669. That's why this car is effective in live. So it's not just about low numbers, it's about what it can do with the low numbers. That applies in tier 4 as well. It's not just tier 5, every tier that works the same way. Okay, the pure sport, unfortunately, yes, you could use it to beat dyno, but no, it's not that great because again, it's not like this. A stage 5 only, it's already a 700, and it's not that quick, so it doesn't have any advantage in lobby like the Cento White. So yes, it's 9.2, but we're talking almost 30 performance point difference than the Cento White. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's not a terrible car though.
Rollo wants to know, does the Evora GT430 need to be completely maxed out for Tempest 3 Tier 4?
Pretty close for one of the challenges. In fact, I would say yes to that question, just so we don't get into the nitty-gritties of what if I'm missing 2 epic fusions and 1 intake stage 6. You could probably get away with it with that, but for the most part, I think for the sprint or for one of the challenges, you really need it pretty much maxed.
Yeah, most of those cars need to be very close to maxed out.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Let's run through them real quick since we're here, and I'll tell you which ones don't need to be very close to maxed at all.
Someone
there are a few of them.
Someone says, how good is the pure sport? It's just kind of okay, guys. It's just kind of okay. I wouldn't upgrade that car unless I actually needed it for something.
Right, so the issue with Tempest 3 Tier 4 is a lot of these guys that can do 260 mile per hour struggles with the sprint. Or the guys that can do the sprints struggle with the 260 mile per hour without being fully maxed. There are a few cars in here that can do it, most of it, with very little upgrades. But
oh yeah, that thing's awesome there.
The R6 Avant, unfortunately, can do most of it without any stage 6s, and then you get to the sprint and you need 4 of them. So it's a little tricky in that sense. But one of the best is right here, M5 Competition. I think it only needs 1 or maybe 2 stage 6s to make it through. Okay, it does both sprints and speed traps real easily. The other one is one of your favorites, the Nissan In-Attack GTR. I think it needs 2 stage 6s to make it through the whole thing. I can't remember off the top of my head which ones, but it can do it with very minor stage 6 upgrades. And that is, where is that car? This guy right here.
Vantage Roadster can beat Tempest 1 and Tempest 2, I believe, but you're not going to beat Tempest 3 with it.
Nope, doesn't get through that speed trap. Okay, so this guy right here is very good for Tempest 3 Tier 4. You have also another good one. This guy, nobody has this car now, but this one actually is very good for Tempest 3 Tier 4. It goes right through it. I went through the whole thing missing stage 6s and fusions, and it blew right through it. So this car is really good, but you can't get it.
Yeah, the RX-6 can beat Tempest 1, 2, and 3. That's a wonderful car, actually.
The RS6 is not a sprint car, so I actually would not recommend it for Tempest 2. You're better off using something like the Mazda RX-7 or Nissan Silvias because you have no speed traps, right? For Tempest 2, it's all about sprints, so you want the fast sprinters. So most of these guys are good. Evora GT, this guy's actually pretty good for Tempest. Let me see.
Yeah, the sprints are actually a pain on that. I forgot about those.
Yep. That's the problem. So for Tempest 2, you want a fast sprinter. Not necessarily worry about speed trap at all. Oh, this guy's good for, pretty good for, but it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
gonna. It's gonna require a lot of stage 6s. So
That was a free
yeah.
car too. They gave that up for free. I think.
Yeah. It was a
What's
milestone
up, Thomas?
or something. I can't remember.
Sin Snips, what's up? Good to see you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
the
the
Fast and
NSXs
Furious events will probably come back eventually. We see a lot of those, and those are all paid cars, though. When the event does pop up, you got to spend real money to get those.
And this guy, this is one of the best right now for Tempest 3 Tier 4 as well, the Griffith. Okay, so you got quite a few options nowadays. They can do the job pretty easily. Fully maxed, you have a lot, not a lot more, but quite a few more in addition. So, you know, it's not as hard as it used to be to get through Tempest 3.
Oh, look, Sander,
All right.
have a great day, buddy.
Have a good one. Let me see. Well, the Z's good. This guy will beat Tempest 3 Tier 4. The RX-7 is hard to do the 250 mile per hour sprint with this car, but it's doable.
I think you
this
got to
one's not
have all
bad at
those
all.
elite customs upgrades on that RX-7, though, don't you?
No, you don't need a lot. You don't need any elite customs to beat the challenge. You need to be fully maxed, but elite custom levels will make it a lot easier once you get to the fusion slots. So, yeah. So I mean, we have a decent amount of choices here nowadays compared to before. But you know, some of these are just not going to do it. And if you play with combinations of two cars, your options expand even further. So. You know, T3, Tier 3, this guy right here, no Stage 6, okay? Beats Tempest 3, Tier 3, no Stage 6.
Hey,
Right
Tracy
here.
Flowers.
Oops.
Now, the game's not really hard. It's just, there's a lot to it. It's an easy game, but there's a lot of questions. When you first start off, you're going to be like, hey, how's this? How's this? How's that? Why? But, you know, if you watch my channel, you'll be okay. Me and
This
Max,
one I think can beat Tempest 3 Tier 3 with no Stage 6 as well, or just one maybe you need. So this is, and you can elite level it to make it even faster. So this is a, you know.
yeah, Max
very
is
good
really
car.
good with the Tempest stuff. When it comes to Tempest stuff, Max knows about that really well.
But yeah, I mean, those are the ones. For Tempest 2, surprisingly, this car is actually really good. I mean, Tempest 3, Tier 2, but how many of you guys actually built this? You know, we all pulled them, but very few people actually bothered to build this. I actually built this car a long time ago, and I have a lot of mileage on it because of that. Okay. It's one of my favorite little T2 cars for map racing. So. And it beats Tempest 3 Tier 2 like nothing. It just goes right through it, no problem. But it's hard to get Stage 6s for it. Very hard. Alright, so let's see. What else we got question-wise? What's the difference between the Z4 and the ACS4? The ACS4 is not as good. They're very close, but I think both are decent. But the Z4 M40i seems to be a little bit easier on sprint and setups for Tempest, but they're both pretty close to each other. They both can definitely beat that Tempest challenge, but this one's better at most everything that you have to do. Okay. That being said, I think Tier 3 doesn't get a lot of love in live because almost no Tier 3 car has real high evo, even though it's fully maxed. Versus, say, Tier 2 cars, I mean, if you look at some of the Tier 2 cars, you got guys that are running 1,000 plus Evo, like this guy right here, that guy right there. I mean, these guys are just going to destroy most Tier 3 cars they run into in the live lobbies. It's unfortunate. Even the Boxer S, which is a favorite of many people who stay in the lower lobbies, this guy here beats everybody up. Okay, so.
See, somebody
what are you
says
talking
a
about,
quick
Bosco?
list.
I have horrible paint jobs.
quick list for Tempest 1, okay? If you're trying to do Tempest 1 Tier 4, I think that's what you were talking about. The easiest one, in my opinion, is to buy the GTR from the dealership, okay? It'll beat Tempest 1 and 2, no problem, and you can keep buying more and stripping them to get parts. So, those ones are pretty easy to max out. Tier 4... Good Tier 4 cars are pretty hard to get, so it could take you a really long time to get some better Tier 4 cars. So for Tempest 1 and 2 Tier 1, I always recommend the Golf GTI just because it's easy to get, it's easy to max out. For Tier 2, I would try and get the... Man, what if you don't have the Boxster? I always recommend the Boxster because it doesn't need that many parts or stage 6s to beat Tempest 1 and 2, but it's not always an easy car to get. For Tempest 3, I always say just get the BMW M4 or the Mustang GT. Both of those will beat Tempest 1 and 2, plus you can buy them and strip them for parts. Tier 4, I always tell people, of course, that GTI from the dealership, it's always better if you win the one with stars from the crates, but if you have to, you know, the one from the dealership works. And finally, for Tempest 1, 2, and 3, you can use the Lamborghini Huracan, which you can buy in the dealership. And that's another one you can just keep buying and stripping to get parts so you can max them out. So that's the most recommended list just because those ones are the easiest for a person to get parts for.
Yeah,
I mean, I've got some cars... I got some cars that will beat Tempest all day long, but the thing is, I've had them for 3 years, and I still don't have any Fusions or Stage 6 to throw at them, so that can be an issue, too, for some cars. What were you going to say, Max?
I'm saying this car is cheap to build, so it's reflected on my license plate. Cheap. Very cheap.
Pretty good little car, too, actually.
Yeah, for live racing, Tier 1, my favorite weapon. Not always the best, but it is the little Hitman, the A-bar.
That's a cool little car, actually. Most people think that thing's crap when they get it just because it's a little goofy car, but it's really good, actually.
Yep. I got all kinds of license plates for this car because it's fun.
Look, he's got like 500 of those.
my Wreck You 2. So it's one of the fun ones. So I mean, there are cars that can beat it, but you know, another great one is the Civic. The same level of setup on the 1.5 VTEC can be real difficult in live for people. You can beat a lot of people with that. They nerfed the Fiesta ST. It used to be a lot better, but they nerfed it.
It used to be really good, actually.
Yeah, it used to be really good. It's right on par before with the GTI, but now I know that it's not running as fast for whatever reason. So
yeah, that's a bummer.
I have so many A-bars because back in the day, if you win over a certain amount of time, the game automatically makes you bump lobbies. So at the time, what I did is I just built a bunch of them, so I just burn them out, and I don't really care. And I just keep going to the next ones as I need to. And also there was a challenge I tried to do one season. I said I was going to make 1 million points RP using just the A-bars for live racing. And I did it. I just didn't record it because, you know.
Portugal,
but, yeah.
Danny and Max, what do you guys think of the Corvette Rocket Bunny? I made a video about that this morning and did a little review on it. I like the car. I don't think Max likes it too much, though.
I don't dislike it. I just haven't really seen a good, you know, I don't know. I mean, I just haven't seen a really good low evo tune on it. I mean, low performance point tune on it. Fully maxed because it beats Dyno. I think it'll be pretty viable. So I don't have a tune for it. I think Zukar probably will have something for a max car, and you had something that you already showcased as well. So I may play with it in the future, but not right now. So
what is the best tier 2 car?
Best tier 2 car?
Probably that little Miata Rocket Bunny, don't you think?
Well, I mean,
best at what though? That's another thing. Best at what?
I mean, don't underestimate the 250 GTO. That's a bit of a little beast too. And my own crewmates showed me that 300 SL coupe can be good as well. But
like
as
that
far
thing.
as tier 2, I would say definitely Boxster S is a top car. Rocket Bunny Miata, Cooper Works GP, these are all very good. So, you know, reject Camaro, embrace A-Bars. I mean, the A-Bars...
What's up, Haunter? Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying the A-Bars is great. It's a great little car. You know, people just don't give it enough credit because we all move away from tier 1 real fast. And you're like, tier 1 cars, junk. But, you know, I've never hated my A-Bars. So, and I've hated a lot of other cars.
Haunter says, what's our best cars in live? You're gonna be a little surprised by this, but I tend to, the Nissan Juke is one of my go-to live racing cars just because it wins most races. It never needs to be reset. It's a goofy little crappy car, but man, it does good at live racing and earns good respect points. I don't really like it, but at the same time, I love it. What about you, Max? What's one of your best live racing cars?
Well, if we really want to get into it, I think one of the ones I used most successfully is still the Bachmano. You know, and the Regera for the longest time, I had a lot of fun with it.
The Crow says, reject the Camaro, embrace the Abrith. He's talking to Thomas there.
Embrace the A-Bars, right?
Thomas loves the Camaros.
Yeah, the F12 downtune, the problem with F12 downtune is that it bumps so fast nowadays. The computer knows that car. They adjusted something in the matchmaking for F12s. You know, because 4 years ago, that was kind of a monster in live. Nowadays, it just gets its butt kicked.
I arrange my garage by tiers. Ashen, like all my tier 1 cars, then tier 2, then tier 3, then tier 4, then tier 5 for the most part. I keep my favorite cars in the first couple of garages, and then after that I just order them by tier. That's what works for me. It's such a pain in the butt to rearrange your garage on this game. I wish they would come up with a better way to do that.
I don't know.
Thomas is angry.
Thomas loves Camaros, so he doesn't like it when the A-Bars is trashing the Camaro.
Just chill out, buddy. Just chill out. That's all. Take a chill pill, Thomas.
I've never really got into, you know, defending a particular car super hard. It just, you know, I like cars. I don't have to like a particular car.
All right, this is an interesting question. I don't really have an answer to this one. Maybe you know, Max, but Mojo Motoman says, Zemvo question. I have 4 different Zemvos with the upcoming events in mind. Which one would you recommend building? Best dyno beater, quickest, easiest to shift, etc.? Do you have any thoughts on that one?
I know nothing about the Zemvo other than the one I have that I play with a little bit. That's going to be a tough one for me to answer. I would just think you would want to build the TSR, the one that has the moving wing, because it's probably the fastest. But yeah, but if you already built one, don't waste the resources on another one, because you're going to have problems, you know, transferring the resources, because that fusion and parts don't come that easily.
Yeah, Zemvos are not an easy car to get parts for.
Let me see here. Yeah, so that's my. I've deleted a lot of these tier 1s. I've stripped them, but.
Oh, what's up, D Black? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah. So anyway, I think T3s right now don't get a lot of love in live compared to, unless you down tune them. But you know, they're just not that great compared to some of the T2s and
trash
T1s. So.
Bosco, what are you talking about? Trash.
Stream background? What?
I don't know what he's talking about, man. The trash that's on the stream background.
Trash cans? What? What are we talking about?
The baskets, the cans. I don't know what he's talking about.
See, best looking car in opinion, that's a tough one. What is some of the best looking cars in the game to you, Danny?
Well, I love the Sesto Elemento. I think that's awesome. There's quite a few of those Bugatti Chirons that I love. Some of those Lamborghinis, the Aventadors are pretty sweet looking. Right there, that's one of them. That's one of them right there. That thing is amazing.
Like that car.
I could go on for like an hour though on cars that I really like the looks of.
Yeah, I mean, you guys earlier, those of you who joined us earlier, I was talking about this car, one of the ones I really like. Okay, so definitely love the way it looks. From Nissan, one of my favorite Nissans in the game, although it kind of sucks, is it's also one of my favorite cars to look at, period, is this guy right here. This is the Paul Walker's R34 Nismo S-Tune. Love the way this car looks.
That is cool.
It's just the modifications are subtle. The wheels are modded. They're subtle. The body kit comes with the car. It's just a beautiful car. And I like subtle. I don't like these crazy body kits we're getting on the RX-7s, for example.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah. They just make me cringe when I see them. I'm like, oh.
All right. D Black asks, how was the Rocket Bunny Stingray? I did a video about that earlier. I like the car. It beats Dyno by about 0.3 of a second when you max it out. Pretty easy to drive. I think it's an all-around good car for most things.
Believe it or not, this is a beautiful car in real life. If you ever seen one of these in real life up close, this is a beautiful car. I actually sat in it, and you know, quite impressive. You know, the details are real nice on it. So I actually like this car. Let's see, what do we got? Let's see.
Oh yeah, the little Escort's amazing. I love the little Ford Escort.
I don't have that car. You have it, right? I didn't buy that.
I do have that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I keep it on like stage 4 or stage 5 or something. It's an amazing little live racer. I think I have it maxed out, but I keep it on stage 4. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
The game, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to keep this on stage 4. And next thing you know, the game's like, here's parts, here's some parts, here's... It just kept throwing them at me. I maxed it out, and I'm like, dang, that was one of the easiest cars in the world to get all the stage 6 parts for. And I didn't even need them or want them.
Yeah,
but,
it's funny
it's
like
a cool
that. It's always
dude.
the cars that you're not trying to build. The game will force a bunch of parts onto you. And then the ones you're actually trying to build, it's like, no, I'm sorry, you're not getting any parts.
Can the Proto Z beat Tempest 2 and 3? Well, it's probably going to struggle a bit. I think it can do it, but it's probably going to struggle a bit on the sprint races.
I think it's going to struggle on 2. It's probably okay on 3. You know, I'm sure it can beat it. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily. Okay,
I think we did some testing, and it can kind of do the times, but it's not going to be ideal. At least that's what my memory, because remember we kind of tested the 0-60 times on it, and I think it's going to be able to do it, but don't quote me on that one.
Yeah, I have to look at it again, but I think it can do it. So let me see. What were we talking about earlier? Oh, Furai, good for live racing. It's not terrible if you don't build it up too much, or you build it up high enough that it's actually viable. Both would work, but the Furai is not great, but it's not terrible. It's usable.
Yeah, it looks cool. Don't love it though, for the most part.
Yeah. Let's see.
Someone
The
asked if I
Pagani
could.
Dragon, unfortunately, doesn't have a great tune that I found, so I can't really give you one.
Somebody asked if I reviewed the F1. I think I've already done one on that car. It's probably on my car review playlist. Pretty sure I did that one already. I got all kinds of awesome playlists, guys, that help teach you guys about the game, from tuning to... I got a real basic Tempest playlist. I got playlists on tuning your cars, the very basics of the CSR2, you know, guides, type tutorials, whatever you need. It's pretty much on there.
Yeah, I mean, the F1 is actually not that bad. If you don't go full upgrade, there are different ways to use the F1. This is the beauty of this car. It can dominate 7.7, it can dominate 9-second range, it can dominate in any slower lobby than that. Because it's really just an all-around crazy car with, you know, lobby advantage plus, it's money pit. Because I ended up spending money to upgrade this thing and it pissed me off. But, so what the deal with this car is that it is quite good in various lobbies depending on where you want to set it to. For example, 9.5, once you go slow enough, it actually, you know, can get, thanks Bosco. You know, in game when I do paint jobs, I go for the ones that burn your eyes. That's usually my goal when I do my cars in the game. Right? So this one I got a 0 RPM drop. I'm showing you that on purpose so you can see in a second what happens if I don't get a 0 RPM drop.
How was the F8 Tributo? I'm not really sure what that is, honestly.
Tributo, I didn't find any great tunes on it. I mean, it's probably okay, but it's not a, you know. One of my license plate used to say "My Eyes." It's the one I tuned. One of the cars I painted. It basically says "My eyes." I can't stand the color pattern. It's killing me. All right. So the difference is that this car already has a lobby advantage, and now I also made it a dyno beater. So between the two, this thing will go into that 9.5 lobby and destroy everybody. Okay. That's one of the settings I have for the F1. I have another one for the 7.7 lobby. Someone mentioned it earlier. I think it's Kamini that said that it dominates in 7.7, running 7.5s. Only if you're fully elite or at least close to it, it will dominate that lobby as well, because it actually lobbies in 7.7 with the 7.5 dyno. So this car all around does a lot of damage to people that races it. So I never take on another F1 without thinking that I may lose. Okay, so this is definitely a good car. Mazda Furai, I have it at very low upgrades. It is viable in live setup like this, but again, some cars can beat it. So the Regera Ghost package can do it. The F5 Venom concept can also run 7.6s in the 7.7 lobbies. Where's that car?
Noble N600, buddy. I find that one to be a bit disappointing. I wouldn't build it, I don't think.
Yeah, so this guy here is really good in the 7.7 lobby as well. So some of these guys are, you know, pretty effective cars.
Good luck getting parts for that, though.
But, yeah. I mean, if you weren't getting parts when the event was live, just forget about getting parts at this point. So.
But yeah, the Venom is a pretty sweet car.
Yeah, I don't have the yellow one, but the red one I'm not complaining about by any means. So let me see here. Yeah, I mean those are mostly, you know, the Jesco Draco Red. We know about its 3,000 plus Evo tune. Undrivable, but it's cool to have the high numbers. You know, this guy, it looks good. And then you have the obviously the glitch tune with the, you know, you can easily get high Evo with this Ghost package as well. Then you have this guy right here is good too. So Koenigsegg all around in this game has some really decent cars for live racing.
Yeah, that's true. You can get parts from the PETA crates now.
Yep. If you want. I mean, I don't usually try to, get. Why is it that undrivable? I'll show you.
Yep.
It's real. Because
test run.
Test run time. All right. One is the shifts are about as quick as the F1 on steroids, and secondly, the gears are not even. It's like all these awkward gearing. So let's push it right to 30 to 100. Somewhere in the. There we go.
Oh.
All right. Looks great in theory.
Everybody hold on.
All right. Now I'm using a keyboard, so this is actually a little bit easier than you using your thumb. Okay. Let's just see how well this run goes. Here we go. All right. Breathe.
Oh Lord. Undrivable, guys.
And
did you all see that?
9 gears. So it's just ridiculous at that point. I don't even bother. I look at it and I go, I'm not shifting that.
Flash Gordon would have a hard time shifting that.
I would just, this is why I just went, I'll deal with 2700 is good. 2700 is good enough. I think I'm cool with that. Okay.
7 gears of torture.
Yeah. 9 gears of torture. There's 9 gears to this car. So it's just, it's just silly. It's cool to have the numbers though.
Someone keeps asking, what's your favorite car in each tier? Man, that's so hard to answer because there's so many amazing cars in this game right now. I mean, gosh, there's so many tier 4 cars that I love, so many tier 5s that I love. It's very hard to answer that question. I could name off probably
like hard because there are a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's over 600 and some cars in this game, and there's so many good ones.
Yeah, I mean, tier 1, I think the easiest to answer for me would be I used. I mean, if you're talking about favorite car, not what I use all the time. I actually really like this guy right here for tier 1.
That is a cool car.
Yeah, it's one of the only boss cars that I actually use regularly right here. So
it's not the fastest,
slower than the regular version.
It's not the fastest, but very cool.
Doesn't need to be. Again, look at the Evo versus the upgrade level. Yeah. This little guy right here can do a lot of damage in live, and every map event that I can use it on, I can pretty much win. So, love the car. Tier 2, I think, I don't really like Tier 2. I have to be honest. I almost never race in Tier 2.
I don't really mess with Tier 3. Tier 3 is one thing. I don't touch Tier 3 cars for any reason other than I had to. Tier 2 is the same way, honestly. I mean, there's a few really cool Tier 2 cars, but I don't really have a need to use them. But there's a couple of those little Tier 1 cars that are fun to race with. Oh,
yeah, I mean,
man,
I like Tier 4 and 5 is where I do all my racing. I rarely do anything in the slower tiers.
But
not that I have anything against that, but
I still think that Porsche Boxster is one of the best Tier 2 cars you can get for live racing. It just does so well.
Yeah, Boxster's great. So, I'm a Bosco. I'm hoping for a Bentley that doesn't suck. I hope that GT3 Bentley does not suck. That has a lot of hope. Look at the Evo. What am I saying? Look at the RP you gain from a Tier 1 car. I mean, obviously I have the Elite bonus, which helps, but that's not bad. If you put that on a 70 or 150 card, you're actually doing really good without ever having to use the launch button. So, not a bad car. Right? And you get a lot of bots apparently right now, so that's a good thing too, I guess. Easy key runs. So that's Tier 1. I don't know about tier 2. I don't really have a favorite. This used to be a good bot hunter, but nowadays it's not as easy. Don't race in tier 3 anymore. And then tier 4 and 5, there's just too many cars. So.
Yeah, the Cayman GT4 is a pretty nice little car, buddy.
Yeah, this is one of the low performance point high evo cars I like. Valhalla concept. I have a video on that. This guy surprisingly has always been pretty competitive, even though it's not really a dyno buster or anything. One of the original low performance point high evo cars that nobody really paid attention to. I still see them here and there in live racing, and they're still effective. So.
The F12 TDF, you said that was a good one, right, Max?
F12 TDF, not anymore. It used to be.
Okay.
All these Ferraris, I feel bad for Ferraris in this game. They used to be pretty viable, but with all the,
none of them are any good, actually.
Nowadays, I think other than this guy and this guy, none of them's any good. I mean, you can still get away with the super fast in some lobbies. You can still make some decent runs in the FXXK, but the rest of these are pretty much, you can use them, but they're just not that viable.
Oh.
That's the problem.
Zyodic, no, the Lycans are not very good at all.
Yeah, I haven't had much luck with those.
They look cool, but that's about it.
Yep.
Just ignore that one guy there. Just completely ignore him, please.
Yeah, I mean, we all missed out on something when we were noobs. I mean, I missed out on KJ's Toyota 86 Rocket Bunny. Bosco missed out on Conduit's Golf. I mean, we all missed out on something.
Now, this is an interesting question. What do you guys think about the PETA crates? Do you think it's really necessary? Well, it's kind of nice to be able to get a part for any car that you own. So, I think I wish I would. I kind of would have liked to have seen them do it a little differently. For example, you pull your keys, you get a couple fusion parts. I mean, it takes a lot of keys, and you're not getting a lot of fusions, but being able to get parts for any car you want is actually really nice. I just wish they would have made it more. Man, I'm trying to think of a word here, but I can't think of the word.
It's a compromise plate. Compromise crate that doesn't. I mean, it could be better. It's all I'm saying.
It's awesome and terrible at the same time. How about that?
Yeah. All right, you guys.
Great idea. Just not.
You know
really...
what this license plate has to say, right?
Too soon, Junior.
You get the reference? Come on.
Too soon,
Seriously.
Junior.
I thought you guys were all Fast and Furious fans. Jeez.
I have a bad memory, dude.
That's that Fast and Furious reference when
That Vince guy said it
the
to
tier
him, right?
4 VW kid. What's his name? You guys remember his name?
Oh, Jesse, yeah.
Jesse hit the nitrous too quick, right? And then that S2K driver, whatever the hell his name was, all I remember is he's an angry Asian guy. Went too soon, Junior, and hit the nitrous.
I think that was Johnny Tran, right?
Johnny Tran, yeah. Yeah, and they were running SR20s in their Honda S2Ks. And I'm like, what? You're running a Nissan motor in your Honda? Are you serious? Whatever. This Jetta actually is quite a little low performance point high evo beast too. People don't really take it seriously until you race it. So yeah. Yeah, so great reference to one of the first Fast and Furious movies.
Now this is a little off topic here, but I play another game called War Robots, and right now they're basically fighting robots that blow each other up, but one of my buddies that's also a YouTuber, and and my buddy Islander, 2 other big YouTubers for that game, including myself, are trying to do something called Race Wars on War Robots, where we actually race the robots, and it's unbelievably fun, guys. You put jump units on them and have them go them all fast, and it's crazy fun, actually. We're trying to do Race Wars with robots.
I hope it works out.
I actually released a video on that this morning on my other channel. It was hilarious, actually.
Oh, that's good. I mean, a little
if
different.
You do it if you get the right robot, it's fun. Some of the robots are boring to do it with, but on the right robot, it's a blast.
Wait, I gotta pop the hood of this Honda. I want to see if they actually have the...
Is the Bentley Continental good? I'm gonna say no, not really. Unfortunately, the only Bentley that's actually good in this game is the Fast and Furious one.
Oh, at least that's still running a Honda motor. That was like the biggest joke. They imported a bunch of SR20s from Japan to put in their Hondas. Johnny Tran was smuggling SR20 motors in Fast and Furious. Legend NSX is quite viable in live lobbies. In fact, it is one of the best cars in live lobbies because of, again, low performance point, high evo. So, this one, I think I bought it. This was for sale as one of the event cars at one point.
Which S2000 is faster, Max?
It beats me. I don't drive either one maxed, so I have no idea. So
we don't know.
I think Johnny Trans may be a little faster fully maxed. I'm sorry guys, I fail you on that one. I don't know. Gonna have to look up some Zoocar videos again. But I think this is actually gonna be the fastest S2000 out of all of them once it's elite.
Let me where's my phone, darn it? I can't find my phone. Here it is. Check this out, guys. I'm gonna let you all look it up for yourself. Crow. Alright guys, Crow has a big part in making this, but I'm gonna post a link in the chat that you all are gonna really like if you haven't seen it yet. Just give me 1 second to find it. There we go.
Don Jose asked the question. I think I crashed.
Oh no.
It just
How
froze.
do I copy this link, honestly? I'm not really sure how to do this off of my phone here.
You might want to switch back to your screen, because otherwise we're going to be staring at Johnny Trans S2000 for the next 20 minutes.
Okay. Well, they're just going to stare at my map now, because I'm trying to do something here. Copy. Let's try this. Boy, this is going to be a pain. 1 second, dudes.
Ziotic, the Jaguar F-Type SVR has not shown itself to be good in live. Now, Kamani, I have to go with Koenigsegg. I know a lot of people love Bugatti, but I like Koenigsegg better. That's just personal. That and the fact that I have family in Sweden, so I'm kind of rooting for the Swedish here.
So it's not going... It looks like it's not going to let me post a link on my own channel. That's interesting.
You've been denied by YouTube. YouTube says you cannot post link on your own channel, Denny.
Oh, no, that's not it. The message was just too long.
Oh.
Okay, I had to erase a few things. I copied it off of something else.
Tracy Flowers, good first car is the GTI. That's, in fact, the only car I start the game with when I start a new account, because that's one of the easiest and best first cars for any new player, out of the ones you can get.
If you click that link, you'll be able to figure out which one of those Hondas is the fastest car out of the two.
So Suki's is 20.
That shows that link shows every single car in the game, guys, and how fast they are, how much they beat their dyno time by, and all that good stuff. That is a really awesome thing to have, so. Pro
I
helps make that, guys.
The only problem with Johnny Tran's car is that while it's good, it's not that great. And, you know, it also isn't what I had hoped. I was hoping for it to be like the LV Aventador where it accelerates a lot at the end, but instead it shoots out real fast and then it runs out of steam. So it's kind of I can't pull the too soon junior trick with this car.
Too soon, Junior.
Yeah, I was hoping this would be like a fifth gear nitrous car where I could go, you know, shift, and then hit nitrous and then scream too soon, Junior, as I pass people on the live track. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, so it's kind of a disappointment. I'm mad at Natural Motion for this one. They screwed up this car. They really did. They should have put this shell right on the LB Aventador's, base program, so it shifts like that, so I could do the too soon Junior with it. That would have been more fun. But anyway, now we're getting off topic
guys,
again.
so we've probably got about
back.
10 more minutes on the stream. So if you have any really last minute important questions, guys, get them out there real quick because we're running out of time.
All right, so I'm gonna take this car into live once. I think I already bumped it before from down tuning it, but maybe I'll survive and win something. I can yell too soon, Junior, or somebody. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, this isn't looking too good. I'm gonna have a tough time in this lobby. All these guys with the good cars. These are all like tough cars to beat. Wow, maybe this guy. Oh. Let's try Supra. Let's see if I can get away with too soon, Junior, at least once. Oh, and he's betting me money. Okay, this is perfect for Fast and Furious car, right? Too bad we're not betting pinks. It should have been pinks, not just money. All right, I forgot how to drive this car, to be honest, but that's all right. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Come on, S2K, let's do it. See, the problem is this car runs out of steam real fast. I can win this. I got you. Yes. Pay up. Who's engineered to your Recaro? Actually, that might work. That wasn't even my best run, but yes, I got that one. Yep, there it is. But again, my car's already bumped. That's on a 11.3 dyno. I'm racing guys that are doing 11.0s.
Oh. We're still on the wrong screen. Sorry, guys.
Oh. So
I wasn't
they didn't get
paying
to see
attention.
it. Damn it. Now I have to do it again. All right. There we go.
Sorry, y'all.
Knowing your taste, I most likely give you my car even if I win. Oh, thanks. Thanks. All right. I'm the one that's going too soon, Junior, right here because I have to hit nitrous in second gear. Then I have to cross my fingers that this guy isn't going to catch me. Oh, he's slowing down. I slow down too. How about that? You didn't see the proof. I know. But I mean, I won this one, so yeah. I mean, I had fun with this S2K when I first got it. I was like, you know, I was trying so hard to do the too soon Junior, but it just never works. Everybody's always behind you, not in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, it's fun in a way. It's a fun car. Have to reset it once every 5-10 races. Yeah, but other than that, it's not too bad. So anyway, that was my little fun with the S2K. I know you guys didn't see the proof. I mean, I did win this one, but you didn't see where I actually won 5,000 in-game cash. Very important nowadays, you know, every penny counts. I definitely don't think pink slip should be added to the game. With the way this game is and as much problems as it has, adding pink slips is only going to open up a whole Pandora's box of issues. So I don't think they should. What do you think, Danny? That's my opinion anyway.
I would never race anybody for pink slips in this game. There's too many loopholes in the tuning and weird stuff and hackers that can add extra parts to their car. I mean, it's not safe to race for pinks in this game, guys. So no, not a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'll show you. I'll show you an example why I wouldn't race somebody for pinks. For example, the good old Venom GT. Okay, dyno is not that. Actually, maybe this car isn't set up right. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, maybe it is set up right. Okay, so you know, you get a guy like this, like me. Okay, and I go into the 11-second lobby and I say, hey, let's race for pinks. Whoever wins gets the other guy's car. And then you run me, and this is what I'm going to run.
Max will whoop your butt.
So, I mean, I'm not going to do an 8.5 run, but it'll still be a 9.2 run in the 11-something lobby. So, you know, what are your chances at that point? This is why pinks should not really be done in the game yet. So that's a 9.2 and a 11.5. So it wouldn't make sense, right? Now, within your own crew as a way to transfer cars, maybe, I wouldn't mind that. But they don't have to do pinks. They could just have a crew transfer store where you can, you know, go into your crew store and just transfer something. You know, so... or make an army of Antegas and
I mean, you'd go out there with your favorite car all tuned up. You're like, oh yeah, this is the best thing ever. And then you end up racing some guy that figured out how to beat his dyno by 6 seconds, you know? And that ain't no joke. I mean, there's some cars you can find a tune that'll beat dyno by ungodly amounts, and it'll just whoop you.
I think I found a 13-second one once, but I mean, it doesn't make sense until they can fix that kind of issues. So, you know. But being able to give parts or gift cars, that'll be great. But that actually hurts their bottom line, so I don't think Natural Motion's ever going to do it.
They would almost have to take tuning away completely.
Right.
Now, if the if the cars were 100% matched and had to be tuned exactly the same, and then you race for pink slips, that would be different. Then it would be all about who drove it the best. But yeah, there's just too many things that just would make me never want to pink slip anybody.
I think again, pink slip probably wouldn't work well for this. You know, yeah, Guild Vault, there it is. Yeah, I just stole an idea from World of Warcraft. We should all have a crew vault or crew garage that, you know, everybody can shift cars into, and then that crew garage car is accessible by all the crew to use, either to use or to actually transfer would be cool. That would be a nice thing to have. You know, you'll be able to give A-bars as a way like a true dealership. You know, want my A-bars? I got 10 of them. Free for you. Yeah. Welcome to the crew. Here's a free A-bars. You know. Anyway. One of my favorite live racing cars here is this car, actually. I like this car a lot. So, yeah, I mean, I know Dave would say pinks would be cool because I think those guys that came over from... Dave, what's the game you guys moved over from? That had pinks in it. So, you know. But,
was that Racing Rivals or something?
Yeah, Racing Rivals.
I've heard all about that game, but I've never seen it or played it.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I actually saw a LB Aventador convertible at the drag strip, and the actual tires, said "Big Money Boss." It was etched onto the tires. That was one of the coolest Lamborghinis I ever saw at a racetrack. You know, so I think that made it so I kind of like the LB Aventador. You know, when I finally saw it in the game, I'm like, this is cool. But yeah, so you know, you got to have big money to have a LB Aventador. That's for sure.
I never actually played the CSR2 or the Classic. I mean, I played them, but I didn't like them. So I didn't play them for long. But I do like CSR2 a lot.
So let's see if this LB Aventador is still viable. It's been a while since I actually raced it. Which one?
I am talking to myself.
It's the fastest drag car in real life? I mean, that rate depends on what you're looking for. You know, those nitromethane dragsters are pretty crazy. Yeah, kind of screw that run up. Hey, Melon, welcome. You're catching the last 5 minutes here. All right.
What's up, Melon? Better late than never, though. Go, Max, go! Go, Max, go!
All right. Let me try not to screw up my run here.
That's not the way I drive mine.
Well, yours is probably not set up the same as mine either.
Okay.
So, yeah. There we go. That was better. So, yeah, so I mean, the LB Aventador has always been kind of a fun car for me. I used to use it in the 10-second lobby quite a lot. You know, fun car. It beats dyno, everybody knows that. And it also has pretty high evo for the performance point. Not as good as some of these guys now, but for the longest time, it was quite a good car in live. So anyway, all right. Any last second questions here, guys? I would be happy to try to answer anything anybody's got. If not, I think we're running out of time here because somebody asked about my puppy earlier. Well, it's about 6 o'clock where I am, and he's hungry. So if I don't go down and feed him, next time I stick my hand in the cage, he's going to eat my fingers.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. Fingers in my tummy.
Yeah, he likes my fingers anyway. It's his favorite chew toy. So, you know. But yeah, I love him. He's great. He's been doing a lot better health-wise too. So we're very happy with him. I know, if I'm missing 2, it's not a big deal, right? 8 fingers still works. You can still type with 8 fingers. You don't need all 10. So 3.56, no, 356. It's 5:57 where I am. So, you know, we're on different time zones. All right, Mojo Moto Man. I think I ran into you the other day in live, actually. I think we raced the other day. At least I think it was. East Coast is 5:57, right? So, in fact, Danny, you should be same time zone as I am. So we're on the same clock here.
Yeah, it's about 5:57 for us.
Yeah. D Black, I might be missing some chunks out of my hand, but I still got all my fingers still. I'm all over the place lobby-wise, Commanding.
Yeah,
I think
too.
Danny likes the 12-second lobby for his live streams.
For Tier 4, the 12-second lobby is where it's at. For me.
Yep. Yeah, I'm all over the place. I sometimes I'll go into the 7s, sometimes the 10, the 9. Once in a while, I go into like T1, 13-second lobby.
Yeah,
so.
When I've got my Tier 5 cars out, who knows where I'm at. Just depends on which car I'm driving for the day. But I'm generally in between the 7-second and the 10-second lobbies on Tier 5.
Yeah, I mean, again, I like to be everywhere because it's fun that way. You know, you get bored of doing the same exact thing all the time. But good racing, you, Mojo Moto Man. I can't remember exactly what I was racing, but I thought I recognized the name. So usually if I'm racing someone I recognize, if I win or you win, it doesn't matter. Re-challenge, we can always swap a little bit. So feel free to re-challenge me in the future. Yeah, I'll look up that Racing Rivals pink compilation, see how it looks. I never played that game, but I'll definitely check out the video. So I think that about wraps it up, right, Danny?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about it for the day, guys. So thank you all for coming out.
Yep.
You guys are awesome.
Yep. Thank you for joining us. Again, next week we'll hopefully have some new events to discuss. I'm sure there'll be a lot more questions as well. But always fun to run into you guys in the game, and don't be afraid to challenge me. And I hate it when I have to sit in a lobby and nobody plays with me. It's very boring that way.
Guys, please head over to Max's channel if you haven't already. Give him a few subs. That would be awesome.
That would be greatly appreciated. And you can check out some of my Tempest videos and other videos if you're having some questions about that stuff. And don't forget about the Crow and the Reddit page. Definitely a great place to go for information. How do I get more money? Dave, you know the answer to that. You gotta go and play a lot and then bet people. or find Melon and tell him to give you some money.
There's a link to Max's channel, everybody. Go ahead and click on that and give him some subs. That would be amazing.
Thank you.
He always
Danny.
comes over to these streams to help you guys and answer all these questions and stuff. So, please help him out. And yeah, the Crow's always in here. He runs the Reddit page, which is a very cool place for game information as well.
Absolutely. Always check out the resources that are available to you, because it can only help you enjoy the game more. And in the end, that's what this is all about. We play games to have fun. So don't forget about that.
Kamani there seems to be looking for some new crew members. He put his line ID on there, so yep.
Good luck.
If you're looking for a crew, and maybe contact
crew
him.
Members.
You should probably actually tell us your if your crew gets the milestone prize car and how much RP too. That will make people more likely to contact you if they know what you're looking for.
Yep. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. I'll look forward to our next week's stream where we can answer some more questions and hang out with you guys.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate the support. And those of you who are channel members and donate and stuff, you guys are awesome. Moderators, thank you a lot. And everybody else, thank you so much. I'll be back on Sunday with a live racing stream, and we do this every Friday. So, all right, catch you guys next time. Thanks a million. You're all awesome, and have a great day.